Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. Boy, McCabe's firing has just set off the fireworks. And DC is scared to death. There are so many things I could to connect the dots. So many ways to connect the dots here that it's really going to be a fun show. This hour is truly, I'm looking at all the different sound bites that we gathered. Thank you guys for doing that. And there's so many pictures developing here. So the first, it's not in any particular order, but you can see the strategy of the left. They do not want you to see what's going on here. CNN all over the airport when I was flying home said, pressure from President Trump causes McCabe to resign. It stayed fixed at the bottom. Every interview, whether it was Wolf Blitzer or whomever, I was in the airport for 4 hours. And every interview that came up, every anchor, they said the same thing. President Trump is the one, it's his fault. He's the reason why McCabe quit. No, it has nothing to do with McCabe's actions. Yeah, it has nothing to do with what the FBI did to keep Donald Trump from getting elected and all the things they did after the fact. No, it's the pressure from Donald Trump, which, by the way, is a compliment to Donald Trump. Because he's essentially saying, these guys are crooked. You're not going to hear this from CNN. You're not going to hear it from these other sources. These guys are crooked. And because of his being his own media outlet, he kept the pressure on McCabe. Now, does it need to be the bottom of that thing? No, he wasn't following McCabe around, sending private investigators, putting using the FBI or any other clandestine agency against McCabe against, a private citizen. He's saying, no, let Mueller, the person who's over the investigation, let him figure it out. And on the eve, or what should have been the eve, or, of this FISA memo, it's starting to leak out. Suddenly McCabe, who wanted to be a career diplomat, retire in 25 years with full pension, decides, probably best for me to get out. I'm going to make you a bet. He lawyers up. Before summer, this guy will lawyer up. But here's what I want to get to. I want to get to the strategy. There's a couple of strategies at play here. Multiple. And here's the good news for you conservatives out there in Candyland, because that's right, Kevin Jackson's show delivers candy every single day. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Nothing. They have multiple things that are retreads. And let me tell you what it's doing. It's making Democrats look stupid and desperate. And oh, by the way, that certainly fits. Great description of them. So, in a quick review and I'm going to get back to the McCabe resignation and what that means, because it's a huge deal. But in a quick review, let me just tell you what these guys are trying to say now. They're trying to say that Donald Trump is now interfering in the investigation because he now has the ability to say, do we declassify this FISA memo or not? And the Democrats want to put pressure on Trump to say, if you declassify this, you're interfering with the so-called investigation. And so maybe we'll play that clip first, because that's McCarthy's being interviewed by Chuck Todd. And that's one of the strategies. So I want you to hear that, because I don't want you to think I'm doing this. This is these guys with this nonsense.
And that's the responsibility we have.
This memo that now the president apparently wants released, which he has the power to do on his own. He can declassify anything he wants. Do you want the president to declassify this memo that was written by Republican staff on the House Intelligence Committee?
Look, they have been doing their investigation. They found something out. I've gone down. I've read it. The committee voted. This is the process. They voted to allow members to read it. They have the ability to vote to move it forward, just like and then it would go to the executive branch.
Why are they afraid to send this to the Justice Department for review?
Well, aren't we separate but co-equal? Don't we have a view? Don't we have the responsibility for oversight? And the Justice Department will be able to see it, because you have the executive branch and you have the legislative branch. And as the legislative branch looks at it, it will send it to the executive branch beforehand. They have the approval whether to declassify and put it forward. So they will have the opportunity if the committee.
Do you want the president to declassify this memo?
Having read this memo, I think it would be appropriate that the public has full view of it.
And you don't believe this is somehow the president tampering with the investigation? How does this not look like that if he does?
Because it has nothing to do with the president right now. It is the committee doing their work who have found something, voted as a committee of the whole. And remember why the Intel Committee was created, based upon what was happening in the executive branch from the CIA and FBI and others. So they have oversight of it. They made a vote for the public, or for the members of Congress to look at it. Now they can vote to send it to the executive branch, right, and they could have say of whether to release it.
So now, welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. The president doing his job, letting Congress do its job, just as he did with DACA, is somehow obstruction? I love how Chuck Todd tried to frame that out. You know, should he be involved? Should this happen? McCarthy's like, what do you mean? That's the process, dude. That's the constitutional. Well, shouldn't he throw Chuck Todd is essentially saying, shouldn't they throw that out? I mean, why are they doing it? Why would he release this information? He's releasing this information because this is what the Democrats wanted. Be careful what you wish for, ladies. I love this, man. I'm just telling you, can you imagine, as I said earlier, McCabe in this FBI agency has been in operation in the deep state for decades. And we are just figuring this out. Now, just picture for 1 second. If Congress were controlled by the Democrats, do you think they would let this FISA memo out? If Hillary Clinton had been elected president, do you believe they would let this FISA memo out when it hit her desk? If you don't understand how important it was that Donald Trump was elected, and that I personally believe, it isn't like I'm guessing here. God had his hand in this, because if you're a Christ follower, you believe God has his hand in everything. But let me tell you something. What you're witnessing here is a miracle, because there's no way we learn of this. That's what the Democrats were counting on. How else could you be so brazen? With men like McCabe at the helm and Comey, no wonder Barack Obama just said without even hesitation, yeah, I had a scandal-free administration. Let me put it another way. If Bernie Madoff had a McCabe and a Comey, he'd still be considered one of the best financial minds on the planet. Top official, FBI official, removed from his post as deputy director. They warned McCabe of conflicts of interest. They said the FBI issued an internal memo to McCabe saying, look, your wife is directly involved with Hillary Clinton. She's taken $700,000 from the campaign. This is not going to look good. You need to recuse yourself from this investigation. And you know when he did it? He did it a week before the election. After he'd run interference, made sure that all the language that wouldn't lead to any type of indictment of Hillary Clinton. He made sure Peter Strzok didn't keep any notes or anything involving Hillary Clinton. He made sure that all the skids were greased. And then they lost. They thought, no matter what, as long as Hillary Clinton, the cloud of doubt leaves Hillary Clinton by election time, we'll be good. And they did everything they could to walk that line of, the public will be okay with this, etc., because they made it, we've got another series of emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Remember that? And that turned into nothing. Was it nothing? Of course it was something. We found out that there were more incriminating emails on his laptop. Now, I won't say there were more, because we didn't get all of Hillary Clinton's, but there were many on his laptop. Many. And these people dismissed it. Hillary Clinton, if we had seen her testimony before the FBI, that woman would be in prison today. She's losing it. I'm telling you right now, that lady's losing it. Many people in D.C. are losing it. And McCabe leaving is only the beginning, folks. They call it terminal leave for a reason, because he's dead. He is D.C. dead. No longer reporting to the FBI. And the fake news media spins it as pressure from Trump. It was pressure from the truth. And fortunately, this truth was discovered before the American taxpayers were on the hook for his pension. I want you to think about this guy, after everything he's done, after treasonous, seditious acts. You know what he's thinking about? He's thinking about his money. He's thinking about, look, I got to get out of here with the skin of my teeth. So I'm going to just retire, and everybody just says, hey, this is okay. Hey, good and faithful servant McCabe, you go your way. That's what he was thinking. The timing, folks, of this stepping down doesn't surprise anybody. His dismissal was only a matter of time. There's no way it should have not happened. It should have happened already before. Conflict of interest, he dismissed it. Text messages of McCabe now were missing, and I suspect those messages were found. So, as I said, when does he lawyer up? Comey's lawyered up. Strzok is lawyered up. How many other Comey-era FBI personnel are going to fall when the truth is learned about their seditious activities? I say the dominoes have already started falling.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.